We also heard stories about hope. Time to build a future more resilient and sustainable. We cannot solve climate change. It takes action, action that is needed, action at all levels, all people. Not action sometime, not action someday, but why this summit is so important. Worse. We see it in the switch to renewable energy. We see it in the commitments made by corporations to green their efforts, emissions. In people coming together to create change. A very good example is today's America's providing the first ever comprehensive climate action report for non-federal actor states. Of the work we need to do together. Examples also include groups such as the Under 2 Coalition, ICLEI, the Global Covenant Majors, the Powering Past Coal Alliance, Climate Action 100+, and of course, all together we are developing the solutions we need to address climate change. Solutions that will inform political leaders, encouraging them to seriously raise the ambition of climate change. Last Monday, Secretary General Guterres committed the entire United Nations to this effort in supporting leaders who raise the challenge. I want to take the opportunity to thank each one of you for participating in this dialogue and for your input. By raising our ambition to address climate change, we're doing more than just changing the weather. We're building a better future, a future that is cleaner, greener, more prosperous for all. Your inputs are an invaluable contribution to the process under the United Nations Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement. I am sure that next of inspiration and encouragement to parties to deliver a successful outcome. And we, my colleagues and I, at UN Climate Change, stand ready to support you all. Thank you very much, and I look forward to this fantastic dialogue. Thank you, Inia.
Patricia, thank you very much. Excellencies, the topic again for the Talanoa this after about a rapid transition to society, and leading up to the political phase for COP24, we want to focus on the third question of the Talanoa dialogue. That is, how do we get there? For those of you following the Talanoa sessions that have been conducted in Bonn and of course in the various other forums, the three main questions for the Talanoa are: where are we? Where do we want to go? And how do we get there? But as we are building up for COP24, the discussions this afternoon, stories, hopefully will focus on how do we get there, and of course with the topic of a rapid transition to a net zero emission society. We have the first half to hear the participants have about 20 minutes. We have a dialogue, and of course have already been identified to come with key messages again. I wish to emphasize which part of the message from this Talanoa forum to be included the political phase in COP20. I would encourage early opportunity to share your stories with us, and for those of you that were expected to provide key messages as well, as you your story. We'll invite Mr. Shi, and session will be in English. will deliver his story, and we have a translator who will Thank you.
好，这个非常高兴参加这次塔拉纳对话。我应对气候变化的行动和取得的成果。
Pleased to attend this Talanoa dialogue and China's actions for climate change during the dialogue.
力执行始于足下，主要是把2020年 NDC 要兑现，而且呢，争取提。
As an old Chinese saying goes, a 1,000-mile-long journey starts with the first step. For us in China, our plan is to complete the contribution by the year 2020.
另外呢，节能提高可再生能源，增加森林碳 NDC 的目标。
Raising of energy efficiency, reducing forest sinks.
到目前为止，也就到2021下降了46%，已经提前完成了下降的目标。
By the end of 2017, China's intensity has already been 6%. Is increased to 15.1. This is the goal set for the year of 2023. We have managed to achieve that earlier.
这个目标奠定了一个非常好的基础。
And all these efforts paved a very good foundation for achieving the year of 2030.
现在我们政府呢，主要是制定长期的政策，给社会跟企业呢奠定一个发展的基础和市场。
The government of China finalized these long-term stable goals and provided a series of plans to encourage actions on the part of industries and businesses. A very good footing for action from different sectors of the society.
中国的地方政府呢，他们有很多城市成立了这个提前搭风的这么一个先锋联盟，企业家们这个低碳联盟，我们的慈善家、公益机构呢，要提出一个加强全球气候行动的一个倡议。
In China, including many cities, have launched an urban alliance, and businesses in China have established a low carbon pledge. We also have a public interest group in China announcing an alliance for low carbon development.
今天上午在中国角的活动，中国的地方政府、企业界和大学的一些地方政府跟机构呢，签订了一批加强合作的谅解备忘录。
This morning at the China Pavilion, represent China from Chinese enterprises, universities, and research institutions, a number of MOUs for the future cooperation.
最后呢，我们再表一下态，就是中国行动，这个推动全球气候治理的进程，确保成功。
Lastly, I want to say that China remains to combat climate change and to prepare well for the COP24, which will be held in Poland later.
Thank you, Mr. Xi. Ladies and gentlemen, if the grand coalition of actors, what the Fiji presidency, the Honorable Prime Minister of Fiji refers to as the Grand Coalition, because climate. While listening to the stories this afternoon, you will hear stories from governments and even at the sub-national level, and from civil society organizations, from youth groups, from our women, from our industries and partners. So you will hear a range of stories for all the members of the active participants of the Grand Civil Society. Can we have the Bishop, please?
Thank you. Episcopal Bishop of California, based here in San Francisco, blocks over, Grace Cathedral. I hope some of you will come streaming over. Tell is a story of how I got involved in the COPs, in the Conference of Parties, and how I think that what the church brought to faith bodies, to the Conference of Parties, increases ambition. Who's an ecological entomologist, and I have been involved in environmental work since the first Earth Day in 1970. But it was here in San Francisco, where serving as bishop, when in the early part of 20 Feast, who worked, my closest associate, who has since died, just becoming sick, said to me, sort of out of the blue, I think you need to go to Paris. I'm going to do that. So I wrote the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is the spiritual communion, and I wrote the transformative presiding bishop, the Episcopal Church, royal wedding, regardless. And so I did end up leading a delegation for the